Okay, should you have to drop off at the main pits and you brought down the pit lane, again, this will probably be after races, between races. You'll be coming down the pit lane here, and then either JMR or myself or one of the deputies will be here to guide you. You get to the end of the Tech Pro on the right, and you'll be asked to swing to the right more often than not. So you'll bring it round to the right, and you'll stop in front of the gates. We'll have a snatch on the right, which will lift the vehicle off. You'll then be asked to just move forward from underneath it, so the vehicle can be put on the ground. So if you come out of these gates for a drop-off in a Med Centre car park, you'll come across here. I would advise that when you get to the end here at the media centre, you turn right and you back all the way down to the Med Centre. It's the obvious thing to do. So you would then be backing all the way down here to the gates into the pits. There'll be a snatch waiting for you. You'll back all the way up until instructed to stop. The vehicle will then be lifted, and again you will then drive from underneath and proceed back to the boundary road to your post. If you're asked to drop off at the paddock, instead of reversing down to the pits gates, you will come through here, and again you'll be guided down here by someone or other. Be aware that all of these areas are public access and there's people everywhere, so you just really got to be aware, because they won't be aware of you in a truck, believe it or not. So back of the paddock is always crowded, but wherever, normally we'll have a snatch here in advance for you, so they'll be tucked into whichever garage you're going to drop off. The easiest way is you just stay on the back road like this, and whichever garage you need to stop at, you'll stop, they'll lift it off and you'll drive off. Depending on what race it is, you may be able to turn in here and go back the way you come, but if not, you'll just continue on to the end and then use the inner circuit roads to get back to your posts. So we'll do the inner circuit road shortly. These gates have a security guard on normally, but it's never normally an issue. Okay, if you need to do an offload at support pits, you will be coming in this way into the pit entry normally, usually between races. We offload over the fence on the right here, so you want to get really tight. So if you've got a truck crew, you need to drop the truck crew off and then bring the truck in here as tight as you can underneath the barrier, underneath the JCB. You'll stop, it'll be lifted, and as he starts to back away, you'll be asked to move forward. More often than not, you will then be asked to go round to the right, and you will exit through the gates here. Okay, occasionally there's a need to come off the outer boundary road down through the maintenance yard. Now this is the gate from the entrance to the race school through the maintenance yard. So you can drop down through here. And then it takes you out onto the inner circuit roads. You go straight through the maintenance yard. There's normally security guards at both ends. So we'll take the route back to Med Centre from here. So this is back on the inner circuit road now, so be aware that these are public roads, so normal rules apply. So this is the usual road back round to race control in the Med Centre car park now. Now if you're bringing a truck off the inner boundary road for the North Circuit, This gate on the right here that we're just passing is where you will come out onto the inner circuit roads. This brings you out. You'll then follow this same route now back to the Med Centre car park. So we drop down through the tunnel. And in front you have the gate that you'd come off the boundary road to the Med Centre car park. And we're back into the Med Centre car park. Okay, sometimes there's a need to go from Med Centre, race control, whatever, to support pits by the inner circuit roads. So we're just going to do that now. So heading out of the Med Centre car park, we'll drop down through the tunnel and back out to the main roundabout. You can bring a truck this way as well. There is enough access for trucks. Back out to the main roundabout here, and we're going to come back on ourselves and drop down under the track, under the main straight, as if we were going back to the west gate. Okay, as you come out of the tunnel here, you're going to go left across the oncoming traffic. So you just got to be aware that there's, again, you're on a public highway, this could be oncoming traffic. This then takes us behind the west stand, through the car parks behind the west stand, and down to the support pits. You can come through here during the F1 weekend, but again, this is then normally the village, and there's public everywhere, so you just need to be a bit aware of that. Although not impossible, it can be done. Should the need arise for you to go to the hotel in a circuit during a race, you have to go outside the circuit. And the way to do that is here at gate 10. You can go out through this gate here, directly across behind the security hut for the hotel, over the bridge, and drop down into the hotel in a circuit from there. So continuing around the support pits, be aware that under this bridge it's single lane in effect. So you will have oncoming traffic potentially. Now this is support pits car park. So you've got two potential access points here. You have this end of the stand, which is the entry to the support pits from the track. And then we'll go down to the other end, which is the exit from the support pits. Now there's a compound behind support pits, but you're better off coming to the right of the fence and staying outside the compound. Quite often the compound is split in two, so you wouldn't be able to get all the way through. So we come to the other end of the support pit stand, and we have the gate back onto the boundary road.